A phrasal verb in English is a phrase that consists of a verb followed by one or more small words, usually prepositions or adverbs, which together create a meaning that is often quite different from the meaning of the verb alone. These combinations are very common in everyday English and are important to understand because they appear in both spoken and written language. For example, the verb give means to hand something to someone, but when we add the word up and say give up, the meaning changes completely. Give up means to stop trying or to quit something. Another example is look, which usually means to use your eyes to see. However, look up can mean to search for information, such as in a dictionary or online. As you can see, the added word transforms the meaning in a way that cannot always be guessed from the individual words. Many phrasal verbs are idiomatic, which means their meanings are not literal and must be learned through usage and practice. They are also tricky because some can be separated by the object of the sentence, while others cannot. For instance, you can say, turn on the light, or turn the light on. But with a verb like run out of, you must keep the parts together and say we ran out of sugar, not we ran sugar out of. Learning phrasal verbs is essential for fluency in English. They are used by native speakers all the time in casual conversation, stories, emails, and even professional settings. Understanding them will help you sound more natural and better understand others. One of the most popular and widely used phrasal verbs in English is get up. It means to rise from bed after sleeping. This is something we do every day, so it appears constantly in both casual and formal conversations. For example, someone might say, I get up at 7 a.m. every day, or ask, what time did you get up this morning? The verb get by itself can mean to obtain or receive, but with up it takes on a whole new meaning related to movement from a lying to a standing position. Another very common phrasal verb is go on, which means to continue. You'll often hear people say, please go on, when encouraging someone to keep speaking. In stories or instructions, someone might say, after that the show went on for another hour. The verb go usually means to move from one place to another, but when combined with on, it creates a sense of continuing action or persistence. Give up is also extremely popular and useful. It means to quit doing something, especially when it's difficult. For example, a person might say, I gave up smoking last year, or don't give up, you're almost there. This phrasal verb carries a strong emotional tone and is often used in motivational contexts, such as in advice, sports, or self-improvement. Turn on is another everyday phrasal verb. It means to start a machine or device, such as a light, TV, or computer. You might hear someone say, can you turn on the lights? Or I turned on the oven to preheat it. Without the word on, the verb turn could mean to rotate something, but adding on gives it a much more specific and practical meaning related to technology and electricity. Pick up is especially common in both literal and idiomatic usage. Literally, it means to lift something from a surface like mouth. She picked up the book from the floor. Idiomatically, it can also mean to collect someone or something, as in I'll pick you up at the airport, or even to learn something casually, like he picked up a few words in French while traveling. This versatility makes it an essential phrasal verb in everyday English. These phrasal verbs are just a few examples of how rich and expressive English can be when combining simple verbs with small words to create entirely new meanings. Understanding and using them naturally is a big step toward becoming fluent in the language. The phrasal verb pick up is one of the most versatile in English. Its meaning changes depending on the context, and it can be used in both literal and figurative situations. At its core, pick up combines the verb pick, which means to choose or take something with your fingers, and up, which adds a sense of upward movement. Together, though, the phrase takes on a wide range of meanings beyond just lifting something. In its most literal sense, pick up means to lift something off a surface. For example, if a child drops a toy on the floor, a parent might say, "Please pick up your toys." In this case, the action is physical, bending down and lifting the toy from the ground. You might also hear, "She picked up the pen that had fallen under the desk." Another very common use is in the context of transportation or collecting someone or something. For instance, if you're going to the airport to get a friend, you might say, "I'll pick you up at 6. This does not mean you'll physically lift the person. It means you will go in your car to meet them and bring them somewhere. Similarly, a parent might say, "I have to pick up the kids from school." This usage is frequent in daily routines. Pickup is also used when we talk about buying or collecting items. Imagine someone is running errands and says, "I need to pick up some groceries." This means they will go to the store and buy or collect what they need. It's often used for small or routine purchases rather than large or special ones. In a more figurative sense, pickup can mean to learn something casually or unintentionally. For example, "I picked up a few phrases in Italian while I was traveling in Rome." This suggests that the person didn't formally study the language, but learned by listening and being around native speakers. It can also apply to skills. He picked up woodworking from watching his grandfather. Sometimes pickup refers to improvement or increase. For example, a news report might say, "Sales picked up in the second quarter," meaning that sales increased. Or, when things start to become more active, someone might say, "Business really picks up around the holidays." It's a way to show progress or positive change. In informal conversation, especially in American English, pickup can even mean to meet someone romantically or for a date, often used in casual or humorous contexts. For example, "He tried to pick her up at the bar," meaning he approached her with romantic interest. As you can see, pickup is an incredibly flexible phrasal verb that adapts to many different everyday situations. Understanding the context is key to interpreting its meaning correctly. It's a perfect example of how a simple phrase in English can carry many shades of meaning depending on how and where it's used.